Hello, Nistas. How are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista, and over here we do mainly things fragrance. And today we're going to talk fragrance, Arabian fragrances, that is. So if you're interested in hearing about my little small Arabian fragrance collection, and I am going to do a ranking, so please stay tuned. All right, so a couple of weeks ago, I did the fragrances that I have in my collection that are Arabian fragrances. So if you have not had a chance to check out that video, please click the card above and check that video out. But since then, I have added 2 additional Arabian fragrances to the collection, you guys. So for those of us, most of the time when we think of Arabian fragrances, we think of oud, we think of nuclear, we think of blasting, overwhelming fragrances. So what I have realized with some of these Arabian native fragrances is that they are not all the same. They do have a particular type of DNA, but what I am noticing with some of the ones that I do have, they are replicas of other fragrances. So we'll talk about that as we get there. But I have 10 fragrances here. So these are all the ones that I currently have or have had in my collection, and I'm going to share them with you. So let's start with number 10. Number 10 is the fragrance Rifaaqat, and this is from Paris Corner. I have featured this one on the channel because it is a part of that video. And this fragrance is said to be a replica of the infamous Baby Cat by YSL. So for those of us who know, Baby Cat is not an easily accessible fragrance. And I do think that this has a little Arabian edge or touch to it because it does have a very strong, leathery, somewhat oud fragrance note in this particular fragrance. So the fragrance notes in Rifaaqat are elemi, pink pepper, black pepper, saffron, aldamum, and the base notes are vanilla and cedar. This fragrance, I cannot agree or disagree whether or not it smells like Baby Cat because I've never smelled Baby Cat. But the way Baby Cat is explained by other content creators, as well as the fragrance notes, I can very well see how this is said to be a good dupe for Baby Cat. It is a pepper leathery fragrance. And I can get where it will come off as like an Arabian fragrance because it does have that deep resin. I don't want to say it has a smokiness to it, but it does have that very deep woody note that oud will give off. And it has some very strong notes in this fragrance. I have not yet actually worn this fragrance. It smells like new car leather seats, in my opinion. And I just have not connected and vibed with it. But I am glad that I have this to kind of like get a feel of what Baby Cat could possibly be. So again, this is number 10, and this is Rifaaqat from Paris Corner. All right, so coming in at number 9, this is LayAli, and this fragrance was introduced to me by a friend of mine, and she's so sweet. She brought her fragrance to me so I can smell it, and she told me the next time that she went to the store that she would pick me up a bottle, and she did. So this is a fragrance that I have seen over on TikTok, but I was never really intrigued by it, and it does come in various forms. But when I smell this fragrance, although it is a nice smelling, very feminine fragrance, it evoked some type of memory with me. It made me think about my great grandmother. And I'm like that, you guys. Even if a fragrance is not something that I'm just so wowed about as far as how it smells, if it evokes some type of memory or it makes me think about someone that is special or that has transitioned and was very special to me in my life, it creates a like for it, even if it's not a like for me to wear it, you know, as my personal fragrance. So this is kind of like what I experienced when I first sampled this fragrance. So thanks to her, she's so sweet and kind. But the fragrance notes in LayAli are plum, blackcurrant, orange blossom, ylang ylang, rose, jasmine, agar wood, which is an oud, and amber. I do think that agar wood is one of the lighter forms of oud, and it is very new oud friendly in my opinion, because this is not at all a beast mode type of fragrance. I do think that it possibly have a very long lasting power with the fruits and the florals that are in here in combination with the agar wood, but it's not one of those blow you, you know, away, like you smell the person before you see them type of fragrance. Beautiful packaging. I mean, absolutely pretty. So again, at number 9, this is LayAli. Coming in at number 8, this is a fragrance that I actually discovered myself over on TikTok and other people's fragrance business. And TikTok, beware over there, because you'll find yourself just buying things, because it's not things that you have to think really hard about, because they're so inexpensive. So this was one of those fragrances that I got almost like 2 for less than the price of 1. And the partner of this fragrance is the one that I was actually going for, but I went ahead and bought this one. So this is Qissa Blue, and I purchased this from Aroma Concepts, and I think this is by Paris Corner also. Yes, this is also by Paris Corner. This fragrance, it has fragrance notes of fresh citrus, bergamot, lemon, leather incense. The heart notes are sweet orange, floral, jasmine, ginger, patchouli, magnolia, and the base notes are a heavy musk, a soft amber, powdery, woody, and saffron. So this is definitely a clean girl type of fragrance. This is a unisex fragrance. I think that it's a very balanced unisex fragrance. This would be perfect for a gentleman in the very warm, hot months, in my opinion. But I have been mixing and pairing this fragrance in with other fragrances. Yes, this is a perfect fragrance to mix with other fragrances, like I said, that are cloyingly sweet, that you want to just blend it down some. This is a very great mixer. I think that it would wear alone in isolation. The only thing that I don't like about it, it's the floralness with the powderiness that kind of like makes me think about air freshener, you know. So for me, this is definitely a mixer type of fragrance. So again, at number 8, this is Qissa Blue. So coming in at number 7, number 7 is probably the most popular Arabian fragrance in the world of TikTok that I know of, because this is one of the first 3 fragrances that I purchased. And like I said, I was kind of like got on Amazon because it was not the original or an authentic particular one. And this is actually a perfume oil. And this is the perfume oil. What's the name of this stuff? Kajal Hareem Sultan Gold. All right, so I butchered that, but you get it. And like I said, one way to tell if it's authentic, it has a stamp on the bottom, and the packaging is just larger, because the one that I initially had, it was much smaller. And you could definitely tell that it was a copy. You could barely smell the fragrance of the oil, but this is one is a little bit more fragranted. And this is definitely a very fruity, exotic fruit, tropical type of body oil. So some of the fragrance notes in here are rose and bergamot. It has jasmine, amber, agar wood, sandalwood, patchouli. And it doesn't say much about the fruits that are in here, which is kind of weird to me. But I do smell like some peach and mango. I get all those really nice exotic fruits. Maybe some guava is in here, some guava. But it's a cute oil. I think it's a cute oil. I do think that it has its little place in my little fragrance collection because I do have some fragrances that have that tropical DNA that I don't quite have anything to pair it with. And I do like to use this to pair it. I think that it's relatively potent because I tried to rub some of this on my skin at a previous time and it like irritated me. So I would definitely recommend using a courier oil like jojoba or some type of almond oil or something like that, and use it lightly until you know if your skin is going to agree with it. So again, this is, I'm just gonna call it the TikTok oil because I don't want to keep messing up the name, but this is the TikTok oil coming in at number 7. All right, so coming in at number 6, and I keep sharing and showing this empty bottle, but this is one of the first Arabian fragrances that I purchased, and I got this off of Amazon. When I repurchased this, I'm not going to get the fragrance. I think I'm going to get the oil. I'm not going to get the one with the itemized. I'm going to get the little small oil because this does not last, but it smells so good. This is a vanilla forward fragrance. It is so good. It has that good creamy vanilla in it. Oh, this vanilla is good. But very pretty fragrance, but I had to wear it as a mixer. It was just a mixer. This is not a fragrance that you can wear, in my opinion, in isolation because it just does not last. And this is Choco Musk by AL-Rehab. Some of the fragrance notes are vanilla, chocolate musk. It has some spices. It has sandalwood. It has a subtle rose note that I don't smell, and cinnamon in this. But this is a really nice fragrance. Like I said, when I replenish it, I am going to get the oil instead of the fragrance. But I do think that this is a very good fragrance to mix with anything vanilla or chocolate. So again, coming in at number 6, this is Choco Musk by AL-Rehab. So coming in at number 5, this is Casablanca. And this is one of my favorites, you guys. Well, the next 5 are my favorites. This is so good. Like I said, this has also a nostalgic edge to it, in my opinion. It smells really good. It is a unique fragrance. It definitely has somewhat a familiar DNA to some other fragrances that I have, but it's different enough for it to be different. You know, it's different. It gives you a very niche quality edge to it. And this has fragrance notes of apple, grape. It has white woods, patchouli, iris, caramel, amber, suede, musk, and Peru balsam. This is a beautiful fragrance. My husband always compliments me on this fragrance when I wear it. I have seen that it now comes in the X-Straight version of it. I don't know if it's better or the same, but I totally enjoy this fragrance. I think this will probably be like one of my for lives. I would always want to have this in my fragrance collection, and it's just a really pretty fragrance. So again, this is Casablanca, and this is by Swiss Arabian, coming in at number 5. Hair Pistachio. And this is a Paris Corner fragrance also. And the fragrance that it is a dupe of, and a very, very close dupe, is the LayAli Yum Pistachio Gelato. This is a beautiful fragrance, you guys. The lasting power is really nice. It serves the same as the LayAli Pistachio does. It's just not that. I'm sure there is a very small or minute difference in it. The price being one thing that would make it different, because you can get this at a really good price, less than $50. But it has fragrance notes of Italian bergamot, pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, and cardamom. The heart notes are geranium, white peony, mugget, jasmine, raspberry, white peach, and pear. The base notes are whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy, Turkish delight, accord, cacao, cedarwood, sandalwood, and tonka. Now, there are some fragrances here listed that are not listed as a KILE fragrance, but this fragrance is very similar. You get that sweet, creamy gelato airiness with a musky undertone, and the same as what the KILE does is something in this fragrance that just uplifts my mood. So I am glad that I have it, because I won't go through my new bottle of Young Pistachio as quickly as I did the the first bottle, but this is just good to have. But if you have the Young Pistachio, if you really like Young Pistachio, I would recommend just getting this as a backup. But if not, you don't need it, because it's really close to KILE's Young Pistachio. Or if you want it and you don't want to spend the total amount of the KILE, I would get this, because sometimes you can get it on Paris Corner for as low as $29. This is Hair Pistachio from Paris Corner in the number 4 slot. Coming in at number 3. Yeah, we're down to number 3. This fragrance that's in the number 3 slot. This fragrance is considered to be, some say that it's similar, some say that it's the same, some say that it's better. I don't know, because I have not smelled the fragrance that they are comparing it to, but the fragrances that they are comparing it to is Yara Pink. Now, so if you are not even into Arabian fragrance, if you're just a part of the fragrance community, you have heard of Yara Pink. Yara Pink is just as popular as this oil that I just shared with you. It's just as popular. So I purchased this, never really fully intrigued with the Yara Pink fragrance, but since I got this for like less than a 2-for-1 with the Qissa blue, I decided to go ahead and get it, and I'm not sorry about it. This is Qissa Pink, and she cute, y'all. She is really, really, really cute. She cute. I am definitely vibing with this. So if Yara Pink is anything like this or better, I get why it's as popular as it is. So some of the fragrance notes in Qissa Pink are apple coconut. The heart notes are violet, jasmine, and rose, and the base notes are cedarwood, sandalwood, patchouli, sugar, and vanilla. Now, over on TikTok, they say that this is the strawberry pink drink, with the strawberry and the coconut milk from Starbucks. I don't smell strawberry in this fragrance. Well, strawberry is not listed, but I can see why they would say strawberry, because you do get like this tarty fruitness in it, but it doesn't list strawberry as one of the fragrance notes. But you guys, this is so good. It is a sweet, creamy, yet musky type of fragrance. So the sweetness and that tarty fruitness that is in here with that muskiness that gives it a very clean edge. This is a really nice fragrance, you guys. And I do like the bottles that this come in. This is also a fragrance by Paris Corner that I got from Aroma Concepts. Got it at a really great price. I would definitely recommend at least giving it a try. And this fragrance, if you don't like it, this is something that you can get off your hands very easily. This is nice. It's a nice fragrance. So again, in the number 3 slot, this is Qissa Pink by Paris Corner. All right, so now we're at number 2. And number 2 is something that's relatively new to my little Arabian collection. And it's so good. I smelled this on someone just today, and I could not stop complimenting this person. This fragrance probably just pairs really well with their own personal pheromones. But this is also a fragrance that is said to be a replica of another fragrance that is not even an Arabian. I don't know if this company is in the Middle East or not. Anyways, but this fragrance is said to be a replica of the Velvet Tonka by BDK, and I own Velvet Tonka. But when I purchased this fragrance, I had not heard anyone say it, nor was I familiar that it was being compared to Velvet Tonka by BDK. The reason I bought this is because it kept selling out. And, you know, there were some ladies on TikTok saying that they had to order it from a Canadian site, and it just made me want it. So I was able to get it at a decent price, and I went ahead and I purchased it. And once I got it and discovered it, it was a blind buy. It is really good. This is a really beautiful fragrance. And the fragrance that I'm speaking of, this is the Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. Does it smell like Velvet Tonka by BDK? Yes, it does. Does it have a oud note to it? Yes, it does. Does it come off as an Arabian fragrance? In my opinion, from what I know about Arabian fragrances, yes, it does. What makes this a little different from the Oud Tonka? The Oud Tonka is not Oud Tonka, the Velvet Tonka. The Velvet Tonka is more of a lactonic fragrance. However, the oud note that is in here, it just takes it to another level. And this smells good. The fragrance notes in here are almond, cinnamon, orange, Turkish rose, tonka, vanilla, and amber wood. If you can get this, I would recommend getting it. If you can get a sample of it. Girl, if we were neighbors, I would give you a sample because this is really good. Although it is very similar to Velvet Tonka, it's somewhat different. The oud note that is in here mixed in with those almonds. This is absolutely beautiful. I think I might wear this fragrance tomorrow. It smells just that good. It makes me want to put it on tomorrow. And the person that I smelled in it today smelled so good on them. So again, this is Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian in the new #2 spot. Yes, and we made it to #1. And #1 is also a fragrance that is said to be a dupe of a fragrance that I did have in my collection, but I do like this better than I like the original. And the fragrance that I am speaking of is Nebras Gold by Lattafa. You guys, this is said to be a replica of Billie Eilish. Yes, it does smell like Billie Eilish. Yes, it is better than Billie Eilish as far as performance, and it has some deeper spices in this than the Billie Eilish. I like you, Billie, but this right here, they came and they delivered. It's just better in my opinion. So this has fragrance notes of red berries, mandarin orange, vanilla, cacao, rose, sugar, tonka bean, amber, and musk. This is one of my top 5 vanilla fragrances. The spicy notes that are in here are just outstanding. It does not mention an oud note, but I do think that there are some remnants of some type of wood that's in here that's giving it that oudiness, because I don't believe that they list all the fragrance notes. That's just me. They gatekeep. No one can tell me different. But this is so beautiful to me. This is long lasting. It complements my skin really well. It pairs very well with anything that is vanilla dominance. Any other fragrance that has a very strong vanilla, whether it's a spicy vanilla or whether it's a sweet vanilla. This just pairs really well with vanilla. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. I completely enjoy it. This fragrance does have a fan base. I do think that it's probably one of the top inspired Arabian fragrances out here. Well, at least for me, it made it to the #1 spot. So beautiful fragrance. So again, in the #1 spot, this is Nebras Gold by Lattafa. So you guys, that was my ranking of my 10 fragrances. Well, 9. I've used one of them up. 10 fragrances as far as Arabian fragrances that I have experienced in. So I just want to thank you guys so very much for coming back to the channel. I greatly appreciate you. Let me know what you think about my rankings. Let me know what you think about Arabian fragrances. I was just never really fully intrigued. Some of the things that I have purchased, I purchased them unbeknownst that they were Arabian inspired. I just didn't really know it. I just kind of like got on the popularity wagon, and I ended up really liking some of these fragrances. But I'm happy about my little Arabian fragrance collection. I'm kind of proud of it. So thank you again. You are so appreciated. I can't say it enough. And do not forget, you, yes, you are great. Bye-bye.